saying, please make NFTs. And it took him a while to respond, like maybe like a year. And he was like, then he said, okay, be on the lookout, like stuff in the works. So I don't want to say like I influenced this project, but like I totally did. Um, I'm kind of a big deal. Um, so his project Kooks, just to get into it, we got a release date of October 27th, and it's cool because it's ran through this Web3 company called StreetLab.io, and it's a they believe that street art is underrepresented in the NFT space, and it's a community-led NFT platform dedicated to street artists. Um, and the purpose of their sort of community is to accelerate the street art NFT movement, and also they empower artists to explore Web3, which is really cool because they're onboarding traditional artists who, work in the real physical world and onboarding them into the Web3 space, which is good for everyone, and it's really cool. They also provide artists with like a environment and community of collectors and support for launching an NFT project because, as we all know, there's a lot of like weird nuances and technical hurdles to jump into, especially if you're just an artist. And so far, they have over 25 like world-renowned street artists signed up and set to release their drops. So one of these drops is Kooks by Terry. Um, and it's really cool. As you can see, these little like weird looking characters. They're all they said 1 out of 1 on the website. They're not like it's a 10K like uh attribute collection. And some cool things they're doing. They're donating to some Surfrider Foundation, and they do giveaways of his original paintings and prints, which are really sought after in the community. Like his prints, I've tried to get them before; they sell out in seconds. It's so hard to get, and his 1 out of 1s, like if you don't have 10 grand, you're not gonna get one. Um, and exclusive access to new clothing brand and future NFTs. And this is um, just something interesting and passionate that I found in the space. I know Ben said that we weren't really interested in anything last week, but I got really pumped up to talk about this dude who I've been following for a while, and I love him. I encourage you to check him out on Instagram, Terry Urban.
I just want to say,
It's very cool stuff.
I
Very cool
love I
stuff.
love the. I mean, we talk Butters and I talk a lot of crap about like art, and not in a bad way, but just in the sense of buying things that actually speak to us, in the sense of utility or something that we actually connect with on an identity level. And if you look at
Hmm.
my like profile, my like public NFT profile for the stuff that I like still have on hand, most of it's just like this, like stuff that I genuinely think is just really cool. And so, I know it's, we're not speaking about like specific utility or anything like that with this, but just from an art perspective, something we talked about on the stable table for a long time. I think
Hmm.
it's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
it would have been cool if we could have had him on the show, maybe for another show.
Yeah, maybe he'll respond and be like, "Shit, I missed it. We could do another rundown because yeah, we got 10 days until they're mint, so they may want to
Yeah,
pop up and get some exposure." Also, another
exactly.
cool thing with this I forgot is Street Lab. They have their own like Genesis collection, and that's the gateway to their community. And do this really cool thing I thought like utility wise. Well, first off, they allow people to get a revenue share for an artist referral. They get a share of Street Lab financial results. Not sure exactly how that works. They get to vote on future Street Lab collabs. And their staking system is really cool. So to get whitelist spots in their community, you can stake your Street Lab Genesis token. Then every 24 hours, you get a certain amount of points, and then those points can be used to claim rewards like whitelist spots, which I just thought was an interesting implementation, especially for the street art world.
Well, thank you very
That's my
much.
spiel.
That was awesome.
That's my spiel.
Um, let's Dragon. Do you have any thoughts on this collection before we get into my meme of the week?
The thoughts that I have are it's just really the artwork that these NFT projects have. It's something for everyone. You may this artwork is interesting. You see other ones that catch your eye, other ones that you maybe don't really think that they're really that cool. But who the heck knows which is the one that's going to moon?
Uh-huh.
So kind of wild to see all these different creativity that's out there and what you put out, what people get drawn to.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking love this dude. Maybe even if I didn't know him, I don't know how much I'd actually care about this. But I think it's pretty cool from a Web3 standpoint because someone who doesn't know this dude maybe from his previous work and like showing off on Instagram and stuff, someone who's just into Web3 could be like, wow, this is a cool, especially just with Street Lab, not necessarily Kooks. Like this is a cool way to bring in artists to the space. You're
All right.
you're
So
So
This is all right. I want to just say before I send this slide, and this is being recorded, it's going to be on YouTube later. I know everybody's aware. I just have to say it. This project has no correlation to Silks. None of this information that we're bringing forward is any relative information towards Silks. This is just general Web3. It's just my disclaimer because it is that crazy and funny. Let's get into it. So, Magic Eden, if anybody's familiar, it's a marketplace kind of like OpenSea, and it's for Solana NFTs. So I've been searching on Twitter, or I follow a lot of different accounts on Twitter. See Web3 Reach, and basically there's this project called Old Ruse Club, and you can say what you want about their art, about their project, about how many units they've sold, the volume, the supply, 700 owners, whatever. Now, this screenshot in the top right is a legit photo of their announcements channel, and this has been circulating around Twitter, and this is what it's caught. The project itself isn't very big. It's a small collection, small holder size, but this meme has grown tremendously over the last couple of days, and I'll send a follow-up screenshot in a second. But they basically sent out, and it said, "Hey everyone, we're sold out, holder verification coming." And literally like an hour later, they said, "Our founder has died during the mint." So in this regard, this project is being sold. So who is interested, please DM me. I'm ready to transfer all their rights. Then, listen, Magic Eden came out with this post around the same time that basically said they're moving to optional royalties. They're going to allow collections to do what they want with their royalties in regards to setting their own fees. So they put out another announcement and said, the previously dead founder has been resuscitated. And as it appears, our collection is pumping. We are full speed ahead on the roadmap, and I will be closing my DMs. So they started getting some volume. This is all Solana based because of this. And the first two screenshots was the first thing that I saw. And so I was thinking to myself, like, is this some crazy marketing ploy to try to sell their collection, or kind of like this meme, sort of like the Goblin Cats that we saw, or the Goblin Town NFT back in the day that we saw, a few months ago with the free mint. And then the Magic Eden kind of came out with this announcement about optional royalties, and they said that the founder has died again during the Twitter space. So they basically essentially blew up the whole thing with memes. And it led to Twitter, and a bunch of top influencers were talking about it, and it led to the founding of some pretty funny micro discussions. And so this project was, I found this on Twitter through the grapevine slowly after. There's literally now a project called Our Founder Died, with 1,000 followers, and they had a space with 200 people, and the Twitter banners, that meme. And it's just people are taking it as this is one of the craziest not rug pulls, but it is a rug pull way of going about just obviously it's the biggest load of crap you ever heard, but to put it in announcement form, it's just hilarious.
they're trying to rug pull and make you feel sorry for them while doing it.
Exactly. But it's it's so blatant, it's so blatantly not the case that it's not even something to look over more. I just thought this was so funny to speak about in terms of this.
Dude,
is
the I Founder
actually...
Died account. That's fucking hilarious.
So, if anybody has any thoughts on this later on, feel free to reach out to me because I'm just seeing this everywhere.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting way to pull out.
100%. But if you're gonna, we're speaking about these things, right? It's wow, it's that's of all things is what what you decide to say to your community, meme or not.
Yeah,
it's you couldn't come up with anything else, sort of. I was looking at it, but it's just crazy to see what came of it. So
it's funny. At first, I thought I only saw the first two messages, and I was like, oh wow, they're actually trying to get out of this project. But then I saw the full screenshot of what they said after, he got resuscitated. Obviously, this is a meme.
Right.
So it started off, I feel kind of more serious when it was only the first two messages, and then it was he's resuscitated, it's a joke.
Exactly.
Crazy. But it's really funny.
It is very funny. Let's talk about finance. You know what's funny? I was looking in general chat the other day in the Silks chat, and somebody came in and said something about Coinbase again. They said that their assets were locked up.
Really?
There's like a server side thing going on, and it's just
So
funny because
annoying.
it's like every day I look at the news, it's like there's one exchange that has bad news, and then the next one has bad news, and I'm sitting here like, okay, well I just jumped ship to one, and now I'm looking at another one. That also has assets that are locked up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't affected by this. I keep seeming to be like dodging all these things that go on. Shout out to G Home, who's not dodging these things that are
Right.
going
You're like
on.
Neo.
Right.
Shout out G Home. We pray for
I
you.
don't know if he's in here, but he's been very vocal about his issues with exchanges. So just want to do our best to keep everybody informed and let everyone know what I'm doing. But why don't you get into it, Butter?
Butter. Oh yeah, yeah. So the hackers are so far unidentified, and they basically some exploited some flaw in the BnB chain, which allowed them to mint. You heard that correctly. Mint 2 million units of the company's tokens, which are had a market value of $569 million. And the interesting thing about this attack is that money wasn't actually stolen, but it was sort of poofed out of thin air because it was minted. Um, some security flaw allowed this to happen, and it caused the market to be flooded with BNB and reduced its value to the legitimate owners of the tokens that weren't just fabricated out of thin air. Um, and the hackers were able to walk away with $500 million, but not really because of certain centralized exchanges and such. So like they weren't really prepared for the amount of money that they took, and a cryptocurrency tracing firm called Elliptic um, obviously was like doing forensics on it and found that they quickly traded away some of their tokens for other cryptocurrencies, and they ended up walking away with $53 million in ETH-based tokens, which, compared to the giant sum that they took, is not doesn't seem like a lot, but obviously it's $53 million. Um, they traded for stuff like Tether and USDC, and thankfully those are more centrally controlled, so that the funds were more easily frozen. And then Binance actually had to temporarily shut down the BNB chain to prevent the newly mined currency from moving any further. So they quoted saying it was a very sophisticated exploit. Someone said, some analyst was like, it's obviously super technically hard to manage minting $569 million worth of cryptocurrency that is apparently secure but also not secure. And wow, sometimes I wish I was a computer scientist.
Yeah, like a lot of like the cryptography stuff that we see, like it piqued my interest. Like first of all, with like the stablecoin depegging of Luna. Is when I first started like researching into like how these
Crazy.
validators kind of get so much access to the chain. Um, and ultimately, it just comes down to like what you're actually mining, right? What you're actually trying to create, and then storing on chain. So like one of the biggest things for me now, I've been very vocal since the beginning about the prospects of owning a ledger, owning cold storage, not only for your NFTs but just for your assets as a whole. Like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about how they're refusing to get a ledger, for their silks, um, and they're saying it's too much work. They don't want to go into having to type in their PIN number every time um, they want to make a transaction or try to move something. They don't want to have to think about losing the device, all that kind of stuff, just more seed phrases. But at the end of the day, for me, like what I realize is I don't need to have an exchange like Binance or Coinbase with a wallet that's holding my funds because I'm not keeping anything in there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like I'm looking at what's like a service that you could have, that has like the least possible friction when you're dealing with your assets. Like I know Coinbase and Binance both have holds and limits on what you can buy in a week, what you can withdraw and sell, send to your different assets. So I'm just sitting here like each exchange that I've moved to is giving me different hurdles, right? So Coinbase with this whole KYC and the network's going down and unbeing able to access my funds when I want to caused me to leave for Binance. And now, Binance network seems to be, I guess, unstable is the right word, with all this information.
Yeah. Well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right. And so now I've moved to Kraken, which is
Hmm.
completely walletless. So they don't even offer a wallet service. So you literally buy your crypto and then you send it out, right? So you buy it, and then
Oh, really?
it's literally held where you bought it. But there's no like specific wallet that you can keep your Kraken funds in, aside from just where you purchased them. So you can't go in and create like a seed phrase through there. There's no Kraken like extension that I'm aware of. Um, Look it up and just make sure.
But you can hold it on their exchange under your account,
Under your
correct?
account, you can't like move, like once you move it from there, you can't really bring it back unless you're withdrawing, right? So
Hmm.
I'm in a position where everything that I buy, like I'm one of the crazy people that are just buying ETH right now. I know like a lot of people, yeah, and I see in the chat Kraken is way cheaper than the others. Exactly. Like I was looking at fees as well. I'm somebody that's buying right now. I'm crazy and I'm buying in this market just because I want to hold on to these assets long term. So for me, it's just like my process is I buy, directly through my bank with Kraken and then immediately send the funds to my ledger just because I'm not in a position to be doing day trading. If I was day trading crypto and I was making, more consistent trades with my exchange, I would recommend something like Coinbase Pro. Honestly,
Right. When you have to care about trading fees actually eating into profit,
it's
but like,
interesting. It's like it's Coinbase provides an impeccable experience for Coinbase Pro. I have a family member that uses it pretty consistently, and impeccable experience. No delays. There's a full customer service line, like a chat system. Their email response is like within 24 hours. The program's always running. They have a fully separate, like, downloadable chart software type thing that you can use to look at every piece of information that you need. So I've been actually told Coinbase Pro is the way.
wow.
But yeah,
What's the pricing on that?
four.
What?
The pricing. So I think it's. Don't quote me on it. I think it's $30. It's either $30 a month or $30 a year, and that's a big difference.
Huge difference.
But I know that the people that actually use it,
It's definitely 30.
are using it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
right. I see some stuff in the chat. Yeah, Coinbase One or Coinbase Pro. Yeah, that's there's like two of them. See, mint condition. I am so like beyond Coinbase at this point that don't even like care, just because they piss me off so much. But I've heard good things about Coinbase Pro, not One.
Yeah, so Coinbase Pro, and I think this would be a great opportunity for us to even consider another stable table where we talk about different exchanges to use.
Yes.
Coinbase Pro is getting phased out.
Yep.
So Coinbase Pro isn't going to be a thing any longer. It's going to be migrated over into Coinbase,
One.
whatever it is, One or whatever they're going to call it. Binance, and I'm a Binance user,
Same.
and I get frustrated because I've put, I don't know, a good amount of money through the Binance exchange, yet I still continuously get hit with these 10-day
Yep.
holding periods.
Yep.
And it's very frustrating to not be able to, because I don't want my money to be sitting on Binance. And I know that there are community members that are quite well versed in exchanges. It's not something that I'm comfortable with. I just know how to navigate through Binance. So I have sat there and that's what I use. But I don't know about KuCoin or Kraken or Uphold or all these other ones and what the pluses and minuses are of those. And I think that could be a really good topic for we bring community members on stage that know how to do this. Not shilling a product. I don't know if anyone gets, whatever, just to help us all understand what to use, what we could use, I guess, what choices are out there. I mean, look at the chat's already blowing up just on this topic. So I think this would be a good,
it would be
a good conversation for us.
Is there anybody that wants to come up and speak to any of these exchanges? I want to say I know nothing about Crypto.com other than the fact that they bought Staples Center. We were walking all around there for Expoverse, but I'm in this like thing where I'm just like, one goes down and then on to the next one. Like I had issues with Coinbase, it's like on to the next one, and then Binance, I see this hack, and I'm like, well, I have to wait 10 days, on hold anyway. Like Dragon is the same, so that's not very secure. What if I, want to buy an avatar or something, then I can't for 10 days, or I want to go buy a piece of land on the floor or whatever, and my money's locked up, for a certain amount of time. And so I'm sitting here, right? And so I just go to the next one. Like I go on the power rankings list. I think I had a screenshot on that slide, didn't I? Yeah. So I basically just go down the power ranking list, and I'm just sitting here like, you know what, Binance. All right, Kraken. I've heard good things about. Actually, Dan told me about Kraken when I first talked to Dan like a long time ago. I don't know if he still uses it. Kraken, and then FTX. I've heard good things about as well. But I would love to get into this more further.
Love a good. And you know what? I think that there isn't even a way to show a particular one because they each have their pluses and minuses, and it's all about balancing which ones matter to you the most if you're more, depending on trading volume and such. But I think that also it could be cool to see like which one has the best. And again, I'm not really familiar with anything. I kind of just deal with Coinbase and like for the. Oh, apologies. Um, and I forgot what I was saying. I'm off track. But for dollar cost averaging, I think it would be interesting to see who wins that battle.
So Binance isn't shenanigans. It's Binance.us that you can use. Binance.com you can't use. I noticed somebody, I think Mint Condition, you commented about using ACH. I do that. I do use ACH. My challenge is, let's say I wanted to buy something. Let's say I wanted to buy a VSP. Well, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I can't get it to you. I can't get you my ETH from V. So that I'm like, goodness, that 10 days is such a long time to have to wait to get your money out. And I would think that if you got an account and been active for a certain amount of time, I feel like they would waive it, but I don't know. You use wire transfer. Yeah, I guess I'm cheap. I don't want to pay the $35 for the wire or whatever it is for it.
I just want to draw some attention real quick to the stable table chat. Colby Straw says he's ready to roll. Look at that picture. Who is that? And what is this image he just sent? Wow.
Weird.
What the? Looks like he's standing in front of some sort of truck. I don't know. You guys might have to.
Is that a self timer picture he took?
Looks like it. Looks like he put a tripod in and just ran and then. I don't know. You might have to bug Colby Straw for some more information.
Huh.
I wonder if some nice artwork he put up there. That's a nice little community member artwork. That's nice.
It is nice. Who is this Colby?
Colby. Has anyone ever seen this Colby guy in chat before?
I haven't.
Colby who? Colby Straw. I don't know who this Colby dude is, but he seems to be stuck in the metaverse or something. Out of the blue with the crack. Colby smoking crack? Who knows?
Well, this has been right about 30 minutes on the stable table. I want to wrap this up. I want to give everybody an opportunity to come on stage and speak. I know we were getting into a nice heated debate there about exchanges. We'll definitely plan a show around this in the future and talk about more positives and negatives. I think for me, like, it'll be good because now I can like show myself, what's actually worth it. So, anybody got any comments on anything that we spoke about today? Anything on that One Roo Club meme project that's freaking hilarious? Anybody?
The Roos.
I love to share in like the glory of that because it was one of the funniest things I've seen in Web3. Just leaving Keeneland. All right, Colby Straw. Doesn't look like any biters today, Butters or Dragon. Anybody have any? Listen, in the stable table chat, I want you guys to come up with a one-word or phrase sentence for Butters to tell Gary this afternoon. The winner. He will actually use maybe.
I will I'll actually say it, and I'll say it's from the Silks community. I'll be filming it.
Yeah. Message for Gary V from the Silk community. Hit it in the stable table chat.
OG 5K.
OG 5K. That's a good
When
one.
reward.
Tell Gary the Jets.
Tell him the Jets suck. I'm not trying to get shanked.
Wire transfer. That's a good. Thank you. I'm actually gonna take your tip, KMKZ.
How large an amount do you have to be depositing to make it worth it?
It's a good question. I would assume anything more than like 0.2 ETH, right?
Well, I mean, $35 to me, I don't know.
Well,
I'm
what's the
also
limit?
curious.
I still don't know what the limit is. I'm not really a limiter, if you know what I mean. No, without wire, I mean. I'm actually curious.
Yeah, when I
now.
deposit my weekly $5 million, I don't do
Yeah.
wire.
I just take my Lambo from my house and then I sell it and then I just take that. I
Really?
get paid directly in Bitcoin. And then
I've seen your Lambo. It's sick, and your private jet.
yeah, my private jet and my I don't even know.
Is Kobe gonna like engage with the community and answer V Shaker? Because I would really like to see him be an engaging member of this community.
I don't know.
He looks cool. I like his fit.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will see everybody tomorrow at trivia. I will post an announcement this week for poker, all the goodies, all the information for our top 9 contestants. Let me actually get the actual final number of people. 37 top 9 poker players. It would be 45, but it looks like 9 people, or my math is off, 8 people made top 10 twice, so congrats.
Wow.
Thought we were going to get something juicy. Well,
Beautiful
Colby
people.
put something juicy. I don't even know who the hell he is.
New guy.
All right. I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks, everybody.